Hello Star Wars fans and welcome back to Judy's channel Wished Upon a Vlog. My name is Jack and myself and Judy today are going to be talking about our thoughts on the film Solo, a Star Wars story. And this is indeed my second collaboration that we have done together. We're going to be talking about our thoughts on Solo, a Star Wars story, the characters, the plot, development and all different aspects to the film. And what we're going to just talk about is the sheer detail, the enjoyment of it, and why Solo has brought a little bit of balance back into the Star Wars universe. What myself and Judy are going to be doing is we're going to do our own little segments on our overall opinions on Solo and add little different aspects to it as well. So I've got a list in front of me just to make sure I'm prepared and everything. We'll talk about characters first and eventually go into parts of the film I liked and basically overall parts of it. What could they have, not what they could have done better, but kind of like questions to think, right, what's happened to this certain character and what's going to happen to that character as well. So the new characters I really enjoyed Woody Harrelson's character of Beckett. Now Beckett brought something a little bit different towards the table of a Star Wars film. Obviously we know him throughout the film. He's a ruthless outlaw, he killed Aura Singh, and he's basically in a similar bloke to Han Solo when he's older, but it's kind of like the first sort of trigger moments and sort of Han Solo's kind of like inspiration and guidance to the pathway he went down, which was obviously to become one of the world's best smugglers in the galaxy and everything. But Woody Harrelson's character of Beckett, including Woody Harrelson, brought a little bit of charisma, more drama, and obviously getting the job done sort of character aspects to it. Really, I thought his character development was really good. His outfit, the overall lines he was in the film for, scenes and everything. We got a good brief of knowledge on what Woody Harrelson's character was like, and obviously, as Lando Calrissian said in the film, he killed Aura Singh, obviously one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy, such as Cad Bane, Jango Fett, and so many iconic bounty hunters in the Star Wars universe. But Woody Harrelson's character was very good, and obviously, as we know from the film, he does get killed in the end by Han. It's obviously said, don't trust anyone, and obviously a catchphrase and then passed down. So Woody Harrelson was a very good character. The second character I'd like to mention was voiced by Jon Favreau, who's going to be doing the upcoming Mandalorian live action TV show from Star Wars, and he played Rio. And Rio was a very unique but character we haven't really seen before in the Star Wars universe. We've seen four-armed creatures with Grievous, General Krell and other alien species, but to actually see one up close, obviously with his species as well, which was quite cool. Rio brought a little bit more care into the crew, where some smugglers are like, now I only think for myself. Rio could see the potential in Han when he first met him, obviously on the planet of Mibian, where they were fighting, obviously stealing Imperial goods, ships and hardware and everything, obviously the outfit that he was wearing as well. But Rio brought a little bit of an aspect of sort of careness into a crew, where some crews only think about themselves, the score, and basically getting the job done as quick as possible for themselves or for a buyer or a bidder of such nature, such as Dryden Voss. And it was a shame to see him get killed off, but obviously we don't really need to see him in future Star Wars films because obviously he's not mentioned, and the right decision was to kill him off. But obviously some people fall in love with the characters. I certainly did enjoy Rio's company along the ride with Han Solo, Chewie, Val, Beckett, and obviously the rest of the gang, Chewie, and Rio done a good job. And obviously Jon Favreau's voiced characters in the Star Wars universe, Pre Vizsla, Rio, and I think some background characters in the Clone Wars TV show. So hopefully his Mandalorian TV show will live up to fans' expectations, really. So yeah, the last character I want to mention is Donald Glover's character of Lando Calrissian. Now, watching Lando Calrissian for the first time, and loads of times after, from Billy D. Williams' perspective. Billy D. Williams' character, obviously Lando Calrissian, was a smooth talking junker. He just got the job done. He's got all his so-called luxuries, but in this film we kind of saw the fashion side of Lando. Obviously we saw him in Rebels as this man with so many backstories and criminals and syndicates kind of being after his back to get jobs done or to pay debts, whereas this Lando Calrissian that Donald Glover played was more stylish. He was a charmer, he was a glamour man. He looked like a 1970s dancer in a way, due to his obviously closet with obviously cloaks and everything, but it looked like something out of Studio 69, like a massive dance hall studio from New York in the 1970s and the 80s. And Donald Glover was very good. Obviously, if you watch an interview with him, he spoke to Billy D. Williams, the original actor who played Lando, and obviously got aspects from it, from the voice, the charm, obviously the hand movements, and obviously the posture and the characteristics of Lando, and it was very good. And obviously that was the first stage towards Han's and Lando's friendship. Obviously we know he lost the Falcon due to a game of sabacc, which they played twice in that. Obviously Lando cheated, but Han found it out in the end. But Charles Gambino was very good, or Donald Glover as he's known, call him what you want. Obviously a little L3, the droid, was attached to him, so he got the job done. And obviously Han ruined the Falcon to what we know from the film to be this iconic ship from the planet Corellia, but obviously all smashed to bits. But it was very good. Really enjoyed him. Parts of the film I did enjoy. I did enjoy the Kessel Run, the appearance of Darth Maul, Chewie and Han's friendship, Emilia Clarke's and Alden's acting when they were talking to each other, obviously past, present, coming back, and that was really good. The Kessel Run was good. Obviously saw them do that in 12 parsecs. The meeting with Chewie, I thought that was planned really well. Obviously on the planet Mibion, them fighting in the mud, and obviously him speaking Wookiee, or Wookiee dialect as it's probably known as. I don't know the exact term for Wookiees. And obviously the appearance of Darth Maul, which some fans didn't expect. We knew from the Clone Wars TV show that he was part of crime syndicates such as the Pikes, which was obviously used in the film, and little aspects of the Clone Wars was used in Solo quite well to give us a think in the back of the head. Oh, we know that from Clone Wars, but to see the Pikes, or a couple of Pikes and everything, obviously the planet Kessel and Wookiees, it was very, very good to see. And obviously Maul's an iconic Star Wars character in some people's eyes, but it's good to see the actor of Ray Park portray him again, and obviously the voice of Sam Witwer, are two fantastic Darth Mauls. And I suppose the question is, from Darth Maul's perspective and Emilia Clarke's perspective of her character Kira, is what has happened to Kira? We know she's gone to planet Dathomir. Will Maul train her as a Sith assassin or something else? We don't really know. So yeah, overall that was really, really good. I really enjoyed the aspects of the film. The plot was fine. Solo gave a better balance towards the Star Wars universe. Obviously from the Last Jedi's perspective, so many fans were left disappointed. Fights were breaking out line, obviously toxic tweets and stuff, which I've mentioned on my own channel before. But Solo's Star Wars story kind of brought the balance in fans. Obviously a lot of fans boycotted the film, which I didn't. I'm never going to boycott a Star Wars film because I would see it through to the end no matter what happens. I've been impressed with every single Star Wars film that's been released. I've had my opinions on The Last Jedi. I said it's fine, but certain aspects of the film that could have been cut and character development could have been dealt better. But hopefully episode 9 will bridge that bridge together, close all them crossroads, bring the galaxy together and finish this sequel trilogy to say, right, that Last Jedi film, The Force Awakens, the last film, that wasn't a bad series or bad sequel. So hopefully episode 9 will lead to fans being so happy that the Skywalker trilogy has ended with a massive bang. And obviously we've seen characters that we've heard about from The Force Awakens to The Last Jedi, concept art, comics, games, starwars.com, Wikipedia, all different sites, Yakface. It's just so many different websites that tell us this vital information of Star Wars content. Overall, Solo Star Wars story is very good. The plot was fine, the character development was good. Could we see another Solo film? I say Solo, it could be like another add-on to it or another aspect to a Solo film of a certain character, who knows. But if I was to rate Solo out of 10, I would give it a 7. I think they went on the right pathway to all the plots. Obviously the meeting with Chewie, the Kessel Run, how he met the Falcon, how he met Lando, obviously an unknown love of his in Kira, Dryden Voss, Beckett's kind of like the mentor that Han had before he became the iconic smuggler with Chewbacca, and obviously before he met Princess Leia as well. I wonder if he told Leia about Kira. And I hope this part of my Star Wars collaboration has given you a better insight on my opinion of Solo, and I hope I've explained each point as best I can. If there's any more questions, then please let myself or Judy know in the comment section below. Please check out our other Star Wars collaboration that a number of collectors from the Star Wars galaxy who have done on that channel. We've given our own opinion on Star Wars. So thank you very much for allowing me to be part of this collaboration. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, and thanks again, Judy. So as always, take care, look after yourself, and may the Force be with you.
Thanks, Jack, and I will actually put the link to the video that Jack was in with myself and other fans of Star Wars in my video description below this video. So what I thought about this movie was, well, I absolutely really did enjoy the movie Solo: A Star Wars Story, and I was actually really happy that I did really enjoy the movie. I thought it was very enjoyable, and it was good for what it was, you know, for a standalone movie. It did sort of what it needed to do, but I just sort of felt that it could have been more adventurous and a bit more daring, especially when it's such an awesome legendary character like Han Solo. Han Solo is my all-time favourite character in Star Wars, so of course I was, you know, pretty, you know, skeptical at the, you know, wondering, you know, who's going to be playing Han Solo. And then before the movie came out, when I had saw that Alden was going to be playing Han Solo, I was a bit sort of concerned, because I just thought, you know, like, nothing against the actor or anything, he did an okay job. It's a hard act to follow, but I just sort of felt he doesn't really look like him. I'm sorry. But I sort of felt that as well, I was sort of a wee bit sort of holding off on seeing the movie, not just because of how bad The Last Jedi went for me, but it was because he is my favourite character, and I think that made me a bit sort of concerned to sort of, should I watch this, should I not watch this, because it could completely destroy, you know, Han Solo and make a complete hash off it and make a complete mess. But in my opinion, there's something I did want to say, that if I had have been, say, the casting director, which of course I wasn't, and the movie has already been made, so yes, I've got over myself, I would have picked for the gig for this, I would have picked an actor called Anthony Ingruber. Now, he does have a YouTube channel, which I will link in my video description. Basically, he is an actor, and he did voices for the Joker and things like that. And he actually did play Harrison Ford in a movie called Age of Adeline. So he has actually already played Harrison Ford, and I think he would have been perfect. And I'm now going to show a clip from his own YouTube channel of him acting out a scene of Han Solo.
Han Solo, I'm Captain of the Millennium Falcon. Courier tells me you're looking for a passage to the Alderaan system. A fast ship? You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. I've outrun Imperial starships. Not the regular Balkan cruisers, mind you, I'm talking about the big Corellian ships now. She's fast enough for the old man. What's the cargo? Why, is it some kind of local trouble? Well, that's the real trick, isn't it? It's gonna cost you something extra. 10,000, all in advance. Yeah, but who's gonna fly it, kid? You? 17, huh? Alright, you guys have got yourselves a ship. Leave as soon as you're ready. Docking Bay 94. Looks like someone's taken an interest in some of your handiwork.
Not sure what you guys think, but I just think that his mannerisms, his facial expressions, his whole sort of charisma, he's just like Han Solo. I'm sorry, 100%. He is just like Han Solo should have been. I feel that Alden, you know what, he didn't do a bad job, he didn't do an amazing job, but he did an okay job, you know, he was fine. But for me, I'm sorry, he just, at times he did sort of, it looked like he was really trying, and he was, you know, trying to get his mannerisms and things, and sometimes you're kind of looking and go, oh, nearly, like, oh, it's kind of, no, it's just, it didn't do it for me, in my opinion. Since we're talking about Han Solo, of course I can't not talk about the Millennium Falcon. Of course, I loved the Millennium Falcon and watching it in this movie. Now, I do have my notes here, because there's so much that I want to say about this movie to give you, you know, a big, you know, review of what I honestly thought and my opinions. And of course, we also got to see how Han won the Millennium Falcon, so that was really cool. And one of the scenes that I really loved was actually with Lando and Han. I absolutely love Lando Calrissian, and I don't know if anybody else has heard, but apparently it's going round that Lando Calrissian is going to be in Star Wars Episode 9, but he's only going to be in it for a very brief moment, for a minute or something like that. Och no, don't be doing that. If you're going to be putting such an awesome, cool character like Lando in Episode 9, you can't just have him in for 60 seconds. So yes, it was with, one of my favourite scenes was with Lando and Han, when Han wanted a rematch of the game Sabak, and he said to Lando he's going to get, you know, Chewie to rip his arm off. And what I really loved about this was because it really reminded me of the scene. Do you remember when Han met Lando again in The Empire Strikes Back, and Lando said to him, "You've got a lot of guts coming here after what you've pulled," you know? And then he said he was going to get Chewie to rip his arm off or whatever, in Solo. And then Lando sort of goes to, you know, like pretend to sort of like fight him or like have a ruffle with him or whatever. And Han's face in that moment is absolutely classic. And it was like, you know, in The Empire Strikes Back. And what I really loved about that was it gave me a nice nostalgic moment as a big Star Wars fan, because, you know, it made me remember back to a moment from the original trilogy, which you cannot beat. Like, yes, I absolutely love the prequels, but, you know, the original trilogy, oh my, absolutely amazing. So I'm going to talk now cast-wise. The cast, I thought they made good casting decisions as an overall. You know, obviously I would have liked Han to have been better, but, you know, I've discussed that. And, you know, when I said to myself, I'm going to give this movie a chance, I said to myself, The Last Jedi, you're just going to pretend here, Julie, that The Last Jedi doesn't exist, and you're going to just watch it and see what it's like, because if you're going to give it a chance, give it a proper chance. And also I said to myself, I don't really think this guy's that great at Han, and it's not really how I would have liked to have seen my Han Solo being played. But so I'm gonna get, I got over that at the end of the day, because it was a good movie, and I just thought he's not that, he's actually pretty good. He's okay. He's not the worst. So he's not that bad to the point where I'm not going to enjoy the movie, and it didn't stop me from enjoying the movie. Character Beckett, who was played by the funny guy who is Woody Harrelson, he was Han Solo's smuggler mentor in the film, and I thought he was actually one of the best characters in the film. I really liked him. I thought he really stood out in the film. He's a great actor. But one thing I will say is, along with the plot, you know, how his character was going to go and what was going to happen was very obvious. And he even, of course, he was scheming Han, you know, of course, like we all knew that. And he even said to him a sentence that I absolutely love. He said to Han, "Assume everyone will betray you and you will never be disappointed." And honestly, I think that's a really good quote to go by. Beckett basically needed a crew, of course, which was Han and Chewbacca, and then we got Rio. He was so adorable. Sorry, I know that's not very Star Warsy to say that, but I'm sorry, Rio was adorable and I loved him. And Fal, who both obviously knew, you know, what Beckett was up to. And he obviously used them, of course, to get the cargo from the train in the mountains, which we got to see. And the plot of the story for me was good. I thought, I didn't have any issues with the plot, I really didn't, although I thought it was very basic and very obvious. There wasn't like crazy, you know, you wouldn't sort of say there was so many plot holes or anything like that. I didn't have an issue with the plot in general, but for me it was more, it needed to be more adventurous, which I've already said, but they needed to be more connecting with the characters. I just didn't really feel, I hope I'm making sense here guys and I'm not just going off on a tangent, I felt that I wasn't connected to some of the characters as much as what I would have liked to be, which was a bit of a shame. Then other character wise, you have also got one of the biggest baddies in this movie, Envy's Nest, and her band of pirates who chased after Beckett's crew, which I liked that fine. I thought that was great, that was really cool. Also you've got Drayden Voss, who I want to say, I mean, he's played by Paul Bettany, who is Vision in obviously the Marvel movies. He's been in so many of the Marvel movies. Obviously, of course, an evil guy, you know, he was a crime lord in Crimson Dawn. And then we got to see Darth freaking Maul. We got to see Darth Maul at the end of the film. Awesome. I really liked that, which I will get into a wee bit more later on. I love Rio. He is adorable, like I said. And what made him even cooler was that he was voiced by Jon Favreau, who was Pre Vizsla in the Clone Wars. And of course he's did other things for Star Wars as well. And I loved his confidence, you know. He was even questioning Han and sort of thinking, you know, like, I don't think he's a better pilot than me, sort of thing, like, you know. And I just thought that was funny to me. So he was probably one of my favourites in the movie, along with Drayden Voss and Woody Harrelson. The scene that I really enjoyed the most, it was my favourite, was the train heist, because you got to see the really cool freaking range troopers. That scene was absolutely awesome, absolutely awesome. And visually this film looked amazing. The world of Fandor, oh my, that was beautiful, hats off. It looked incredible, and the snowy mountains and everything. And if you've been subscribed to me from, I suppose really from the beginning of when I started making my YouTube videos, you will know that I am obsessed with snow. If anybody's getting any snow at the minute, please send it to me and I'll be your friend for life. All over the visuals, absolutely fantastic. This is how you do things, right? Star Wars. Yes, 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 yes. Kira's character. We've got Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones. And I love her. I loved her in Terminator as well. You know, here's my problem. When I think of Lando and Chewie and Han sort of together in the past, in past movies, I just sort of felt what they were missing was, and where they lost out on was, they should have had a better connection. Just sort of feel it's a shame, because, you know, you had Lando Calrissian in this movie, you know, Kira needed a really good connection, and I don't feel, and it's not her fault as an actress, oh no, absolutely not. Calm down, Julie. Emilia Clarke is very talented. I love her as Daenerys, and I've been on the Game of Thrones tour twice because I live very close to where it's all filmed, but you were lacking something there, I'm sorry. And I didn't feel we learned a lot about her, which was a shame. And I have to say though, one thing I really loved about her in the movie was, I loved her outfits. I have to just thought I'd throw that in there. And I would love her necklace, you know, the Crimson Dawn one that she wore. It is really, really nice. Darth Maul was in the movie, which was what I was saying earlier I wanted to get to. Now, if you haven't seen the Clone Wars, you would have been a bit confused, and this is what was just really cool that they just done. I just loved how they just thought, do you know what, if people haven't seen the Clone Wars, not our problem, tough, you know, just throw it in there, like, you know. Because the last time we seen him was when he had recruited and took on some of his former allies from the Shadow Collective into Crimson Dawn. And I was really happy because we're obviously going to be seeing more stories of Darth Maul, be it in a movie or comics or however, so awesome. So on to another cool character, which is of course the awesome Lando Calrissian, which I thought was well casted. The actor did a fantastic job. He was a cool guy, and that's how he's supposed to be played, and that's how, you know, you're supposed to portray this character. He's a con artist for sure, but he's smooth about it and nonchalant about it, and he had all that down. I thought it was great. I know some people have issues and things like that, but, you know, we're not getting into that. The guy that acted him and how he played out his scenes, the guy did a great job. So, you know what, hats off to you. Also, that's why I absolutely love Han Solo, because these two are just, you know, sort of smug and things like that, and confident, and sort of like so, you know, nonchalant about everything. An awesome character to see in Solo was Warwick Davis, because he played as Weasel, and he also played that same part in The Phantom Menace. I love The Phantom Menace, let me know if you do as well. And that was cool because Ron Howard, who actually directed Solo: A Star Wars Story, also directed Willow. That is a timeless classic movie. If you have not seen the movie Willow, I'm not saying you should be ashamed of yourself, but you kind of should. And Warwick Davis plays Willow as the main character in the movie, and Ron Howard actually directed that as well, so that's kind of cool that they sort of teamed up together again, you know. And of course he played the Ewok Wicket in Return of the Jedi. What's great about Solo is that you don't even need to be a Star Wars fan or know anything about Star Wars, or to be able to actually go and watch the film. You know, you could watch this film and you don't need to have any knowledge of Star Wars, because you will still get the gist. You know, I could have shown this to my dad, for example, and he would have got the gist. You know, it was what it was. But for me, I just felt that for Han Solo, and me already knowing about Han Solo and knowing so much about him as a character, that there wasn't really any surprises in his journey. That's just what I thought anyway. You gotta love when your camera just turns itself off for no apparent reason. But batteries aren't dead or anything like that, so I'm just going to carry on and hope that this works. So where we left off was, for me as a fan, you pretty much, because you know the character, you know pretty much what you're going to get, exactly what it says on the tin sort of deal. But also anything else that sort of did happen, it was very obvious, and it was obvious that it was going to happen. But they still really pulled it off. I felt this movie pulled it off. Visually, it was fantastic. And the casting was fantastic. The plot was fine, wasn't a problem for me. But of course, like other Star Wars movies, it didn't have any, you know, sort of galactic consequences, which for me was probably why it isn't sort of sitting up high for me as a Star Wars film, because, you know, that's what's more enjoyable about, you know, the original trilogy movies and things like that, you know. So, yeah, but it was what it was, you know, that's the best way of putting it. For what it was really good. And I would give this movie probably a 6.5 out of 10, because it was done well, and I think as well it was nice that out of respect, I thought it was quite respectful that they put Warwick Davis in there, so I thought that was nice. And as I said earlier about the nostalgic sort of moment I had with that scene with Lando Calrissian and Han, you know, from going back to Cloud City and The Empire Strikes Back, I thought that was very cool. And, you know, it sort of has lifted my spirit a bit. That's kind of what it done when I watched it. I think it was about a few months ago I watched this movie, or maybe more than that, I can't remember. Anyways, I felt that it lifted my spirit a bit, especially from how The Last Jedi went for me. I mean, I've been there before, but just to very quickly say, I personally can relate so much to Luke Skywalker, and that's why I love him so much, because I can really relate to his character. And because of how badly his character was destroyed, it just kind of, he was so hopeful, and I think that's why I kind of lost hope a bit in Star Wars. I feel that even though it was my all-time favourite character in Star Wars, this movie has brought hope back for me. And I'm sorry, you can say in the comments you didn't like this movie, and that's fine. You know, I love hearing everybody else's opinions, but at the same time, you know, even at that, I still like this movie, and it has given me hope, and it has made me think, you know, there might be hope, a little bit of hope left in Star Wars. But, you know, the problem is, you know, George Lucas had so much creativity. But the problem is with Disney is, because they've bought it over now, is Disney is really lacking creativity at the moment. And it's sad, because I am a massive Disney fan. I have Mickey Mouse sitting behind me. I have Disney figures that I have as well. I have Belle from Beauty and the Beast, I have Simba, I have Tinkerbell, so many. But anyways, I don't want to go into a Disney tangent because that's not what this video is about. This video is about me and Jack, Jedi Master 98 on YouTube, talking about Solo, a Star Wars story. So I would like to thank Jack very much. Thank you so much, Jack, for wanting to come along and do another video with me. I would love to do more videos with you, and you know, we can certainly discuss that. We are friends, and we, you know, do have chats and things like that, and it's really nice that I found his channel on YouTube, because you know, it's nice to meet people who have passion for Star Wars and, you know, things that you like, you know. So I mean, it's always nice to speak to people that have, you know, a real interest in Star Wars. And I have been speaking to Jack and, you know, sort of asking him, you know, would you like to do more videos together and that, and he's more than happy to do so. So it would be great to do more videos with him, and please check out his channel, Jedi Master 98. I will put the link to his channel in my video description. He has so many figurines in his Star Wars collection. Oh my goodness, it would put anybody's figurine collection to shame, honestly. It is fabulous. And he absolutely loves the Clone Wars, and he's really looking forward to Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian, just as I am. And you can let me know if you're looking forward to The Mandalorian as well. So yes, thank you very much again, Jack, for taking part in my video today, and you're more than welcome to come onto my channel anytime and we can talk about Star Wars. So yes, thank you so much to everyone else for watching as well, and as always, don't forget, the Force will be with you always. Bye guys.